The great hall of the Capulet house had been transformed into something from a fairy tale, but I felt like I was walking into a trap. Hundreds of candles cast dancing shadows on the walls, musicians filled the air with lively melodies, and the cream of Verona society mingled in their finest clothes. And somewhere in this glittering crowd, the future of 2 families, and 4 displaced souls, would be decided. I stood at the top of the grand staircase, wearing a gown of deep emerald silk that Lorenzo had somehow procured. It was beautiful enough to turn heads but practical enough to fight in if necessary. Because despite all our planning, I had the distinct feeling this evening would end in violence. "Breathe," Juliet murmured beside me. She looked radiant in cream and gold, every inch the perfect Capulet daughter. "You look terrified." "I am terrified. What if this doesn't work? What if we make everything worse? Then at least we'll go down fighting." Her smile was fierce. "Besides, look." I followed her gaze to the far side of the hall, where Romeo stood with several other young Montagues. He was dressed in midnight blue that made his eyes seem darker, and when he caught sight of me, his face lit up with such convincing adoration that several nearby guests followed his gaze. "He's a better actor than I expected," I admitted. "He's not acting," Juliet said quietly. I turned to stare at her. "What do you mean?" "I mean that Marcus inside Romeo has been looking at you the way Romeo looks at me. All morning, all afternoon." Her smile was knowing. "Our fake courtship may be more real than you think." Before I could process this revelation, Lorenzo appeared at my elbow. "Uncle Capulet is about to make the announcement about Tybalt," he murmured. "Are you ready?" I nodded, though my heart was hammering. This was the moment we'd find out if our deception had worked. Lord Capulet climbed onto the small platform where the musicians played, raising his hands for attention. The hall gradually fell silent. "Friends, family, honored guests," he began, his voice carrying easily across the room. "Tonight we celebrate not just another feast, but the continuing strength of the Capulet name." Polite applause rippled through the crowd. "However," Capulet continued, "I must share sad news. My nephew Tybalt has been struck down by a sudden illness and cannot join us tonight." Concerned murmurs filled the hall. I caught Romeo's eye across the room and saw relief flash across his face. "But," Capulet's voice rose again, "tonight also brings cause for celebration. It seems love has found its way into our house in the most unexpected form." My stomach dropped.